Senate bill on preventing teenage pregnancies does away with provisions that prompted 7 senators to withdraw their support for it. RG Cruz tells us about the revisions.
The modified version of Senate Bill 1979, or the Prevention of Adolescent Pregnancy Bill, will not be affected by the withdrawal of 7 senators of their signatures from the committee report that sent the bill to the full Senate for deliberations. The bill's principal sponsor, Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Ontiveros, explained that the bill has been pending in the plenary and subjected to interpellations since 2023.
So may batas with regards to adolescent pregnancy bill. Parang prevention of adolescent pregnancy bill. Interesting.
Sa rounds ng ospital, hustle di magtigil. Laging inaalala ang bawat detalye-pilit. Pasyente pamilya, sa kanya'y mahalaga. Kaya bawat check-up, laging may pag-asa. Si Doc Chris, Los Bobby, ang para sa pamilya, laging ready. Kung kailangan mo na consulta dito, pumunta sa klinika, yun ang totoo.
Check. Hello. Yan, narinig ka. Okay. Hi guys. Now, may batas kasi about prevention of adolescent pregnancy. And nakita ko ito, I think 2 days ago. And, well, it's building up steam. Both in law, like dito sa Senate, as well as in the medical field. No? Kami, in our practice as doctors, actually dun sa mga provisions na nandun sa bill na to is parang somewhat controversial talaga. No? Nabanggit din sa aming society na this is medyo nakita nga naman nila ito from certain standards from abroad, like yung UNESCO Technical Working Group for adolescent anti-teen pregnancy, no? And parang nilagay nila din yun sa Senate bill, which is if you are the one na nakabasa nun, medyo magugulat ka lang, no? Some of them would state na yung nakalagay sa bill is adding certain to the curriculum, no, in comprehensive sexual education, teaching children as young as 4 childhood masturbation, no, and then introducing 6 years old to concept of bodily pleasure. So that's a very young age, 6 years old. Tapos asserting that by age of 9, children have their own sexual rights. These teachings are, well, somewhat naka-anchor siya in a global perspective, and magkakaiba kasi ang pananaw ng iba't ibang bansa, no. Now take it into consideration also that yung country natin is inclined with a lot of religious ties or culture, no. 90%, I believe, in the country is a Christian country, no, especially Catholics, no. And may nabuo na diyan sa ating bansa na ito yung practice na we have to be more in line with what we have passed on, no, yung respect towards the family, how we build a family, a Filipino family. And this particular topic should be best addressed within the family first, rather than hearing it from school, no. And even mo yung 4-year-old at saka 6 years old, hindi naman kasi yan agad-agad magiging priority mo as you grow old. 4-year-old, 6 years old, you're trying to help the child read and write, no, comprehend basic education and not sexual education. It's not a priority in that age group, diba? Though There are instances na 6 and 8 years old yung nagkakaroon na ng exposure due to some other reasons kasi yung nagkakaroon sila ng problem sa family. Why not focus on that, 'di ba? Focus on things that would affect the family, okay? That will create a dysfunctional family, that will make a family be more at risk sa isang family with a teenage pregnancy. Yun yung mga maganda sanang pasimulan, no? Actually, nadaanan ko yung UNFPA article that was stating last August. Ito yun siya. COICA, United Nations Call for an Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Law. I think dito din yung nagiging call nila, kaya nag-pass sila ng bill na ganito sa Congress or sa Senate, no? And it was based here na mataas kasi ang number of teenage pregnancy. Okay? Now, following the commemoration of International Youth Day, sabi nga nito, the Korean International Cooperation Agency and United Nations Philippines, including the United Nations Population Fund, UNICEF, and WHO jointly called for urgent passage of Adolescent Pregnancy Bill. That's the bill na sinasabi kanina under Senator Hontiveros, no? Ang purpose why nagkaroon ng bill na to, because of the urgent situation, is underscored by the data of the Philippine Commission of Population Development na nagpakita ng 10.2 increase of live births of girls aged 10 to 19 between 2021 and 2022. So, maraming mga mothers na nanganak during that time that were aged 10 to 19. Now, take mo rin to consideration but nagkaroon tayo ng ganitong population na mataas ang teenage pregnancy. Not directly na it will be one of the solutions, no? Well, it's good na magkaroon tayo ng laws that will govern, no, teenage pregnancy, pero it's more important also to provide laws or even strengthen laws about the family, no, family itself, kasi the family will always be the key answer in addressing problems with each member. Okay, for us, ako as family physician, a crisis would be, or a family crisis would be best addressed or solved within the family first rather than people outside the family. Okay? So, itong 10.2%, well, dapat nakapag-identify din what was the cause of the 10.2% increase of pregnancy, no? Or ano to? Increase of live births by girls, no, at the age of 10 to 19. Now, kailangan pa mag-dig in deep kung bakit meron tayo niyan. So, pumunta din ako sa POPCOM. Ano ba yung survey nila by that time? So, POPCOM, teen and unintended pregnancies, physical violence concern Filipino women the most. Physical violence. Okay. So, there has been something brewing. Matagal naman na. There are a lot of cases about violence against women, children, even yung families na yung kamag-anak mo pa rin yung nagkaroon ng assault, no, within the family. And there, though there are laws, like yung sabi nga nila attorney, is yung revised penal code, no, na pwede at saka VAUSI, no, di ba? Still, the strength would come from yun pa rin implementation by the country, no. It was noted dito sa ating bansa, yun nga, tumataas talaga siya based on POPCOM survey, no. Teenage pregnancy and unintended births as well as physical violence are currently amongst the pressing concerns of women today. Okay, nationwide survey commissioned by the government agency through the Social Weather Survey from November 2020 among 18 years old and above, the issues of pregnancy among adolescents. figured prominent as the most mentioned of in all geographic areas. So pag sinabing all geographic areas, in almost every part of the country, no? Now, I get that this is a problem, pero you have to dig in deep with a problem, find the root cause, okay? Find the problem find the things that are making this type of problem grow, no? So hanapin mo yung roots. Actually, in certain analysis, kung isipin mo siya, no? Isipin mo, ano bang nag-cause ng increase ng teenage pregnancy? And this is just it's just my brain thinking about what are the things that might increase or might cause an increase in teenage pregnancy sa ating bansa. Based on also what we've learned also as in the medical field and syempre in real life setting. And I came up with this. Actually, hindi siya maganda makita, pero it's somewhat what we call a problem tree, no? Sige nga, maglagay nga tayo ng tree. Design. Tree. Where's the tree? Gawa tayo, insert. Let's insert a tree. Now, siguro you get it, that this is the one, this is your main concern. Napawala tuloy ako. So the main concern mo would be the bark or yung body mismo ng tree. And then let's label that. Let's place a color yan para ma-emphasize natin. And then those sa taas would be your branches, the things that would sprout out dahil sa problema na ito, which is your increase in pregnancy. So dito, naisip ko lang dito parang around 15 minutes ago kung ano yung mga possible na magiging effects, no? So effects of teenage pregnancy. And lo and behold dito, syempre, increase in teenage pregnancy would lead to increase of the population. Right now, the population is booming. Naabutan ko pa no med school ko, we had the first 100 million Filipino. Ayun, I think it's already in 110s, 108, 111, more so. No? And the population is still growing. No? And marami doon mga bata. Okay? Aside from that, increase in teenage pregnancy leads to, there is an increased number of dysfunctional family. Now, ano ba ang tinatawag ng dysfunctional family? A dysfunctional family is a family that has, is dealing with a crisis and then hindi nila na-overcome yung crisis and nag-move forward lang sila not addressing that crisis. Now, let's say if this crisis is yung nabuntis yung pinakabata nilang anak, nagkakaproblema ngayon, papatong yan yung financial na tulong sa bata, sa pagpapa-check up ng bata, madadagdag sa gastusin, di ba? The problem also there is what will be the living recommendations sa family. Will it from a nuclear family, magiging extended sila from the time being kasi bata pa or musmus pa yung mother o yung young mother. So, matutuloy mo na siya sa family of origin sa nanay-tatay niya. And then, it will also spark, syempre, yung parang guilt sa young mother na, parang napahiya ko na yung magulang ko, ganun sa nangyaring ito. Or sa the same time, magdadagdag ng undue stress from the family, the parents, na parang it will happen, no? May mga pagkakataong mangyari to. In real life settings, parang nagagalit sila sa anak nila dahil nabuntis siya ng maaga, ganon. It will spark crisis and dysfunctional relationship with members of the family. So there will be an increased number of dysfunctional family in that situation. Next, yung dito, yan, poor maternal health care. Now, dito sa dalawa sa dulo na to, na naisip ko, yung poor maternal health care, kasi bata yan eh. The adolescent, no, lalo na kung sobrang bata pa yan, it still wasn't built, no, to pregnant womb, no? Hindi pa ready yung katawan, hindi pa developed ang kanyang secondary sexual characteristics. Like let's say for example, yung pelvis niya, no, hindi pa akma dun sa size para mag-give birth. Okay? There is lack of awareness, no, kung ano yung type of check-ups, kasi let's say nabuntis siya and due to the dysfunctional family, hindi napapa-check up siya regular kasi yun nga, he or she fears na gusto pag lumabas siya sa bahay, i-judge siya ng mga tao. Okay? And then at the same time, the poor maternal health, meron yung times na hindi na sila nagpa-check up, saka na nagpa-check up pag kabuanan na. At well, that is very alarming kasi hindi sila na-instruct on how to properly deliver a child, and eventually when the time comes ng mga anak na yung bata, ang problem dyan is hindi siya aware kung paano, let's say, nakausap man ng nanay niya kung paano ba ang tamang pag-iri. Okay? And then they end up in the operating table through cesarean section. And take note, well, cesarean section, nanganganak naman talaga, but money, mahal ang CS. Okay? CCS ka na, once nagka-CS ka, the next child may possibility na CS, repeat CS kasi yon, because you have already provided undue trauma sa uterus. Possible magkaroon ka ng uterine rupture. Okay, though may mga CS nung una tapos nagkaroon tayo ng trial labor, pwedeng manganak na normal. Pero that would be needing more consultations with your OB. Pero most of the time, kapag nagka-CS ka ng primary, first baby mo, repeat CS yung mga susunod. And that will cost money to the family. Okay, that will cost money. And then yun nga, kung hindi na-coach yung mother, may possibility na kung hindi niya kayang ipanganak na maayos, let's say nadala yung bata sa isang lugar na hindi naman capable mag-CS, it might lead to complications. In some cases, kahit bata yan, no, it might lead to mortality, or sabi natin, pagkapanaw ng mother upon delivery. And that is a real outcome na pwedeng mangyari. And ayaw natin mangyari yon. Okay? Maliban sa nanay, syempre yung bata, kapakanan ng bata, yung gusto mong isalba sa sitwasyon na yan. No? So the poor newborn care, or even in the antepartum, pag sinapit ang antepartum, during the time na pagdadalang tao ng nanay, yung kalagayan din ng bata. Ang kailangan din natin proteksyonan, no? Kapag meron tayong ganito na mga teenagers na nabubuntis, they do not know kung ano ba yung mga kailangan natin i-address. May mga bawal na gamit or mga substances na dapat hindi sila expose. Now, if this is, let's say, neglected during the time of childbearing, no, naninigarilyo, inom ng alak, meron tayong tinatawag na mga complications during childbirth. Pwede yung bata pinanganak with fetal alcohol syndrome, isa yun. Pwede rin na expose siya sa mga products that might lead to teratogenic effects. Pag sinabing teratogenic effects, magkakaroon ng problema sa pagbuo ng katawan mismo ng bata. Okay? It would either lead to either congenital problems, okay? Kulang ang isang paa, kulang ang isang, or nagkaroon ng microcephaly, okay? Yung nagkaroon siya ng infection during pregnancy, nagkaroon ng congenital anomaly, okay? Yun yung mga detrimental and problematic na complications na ayaw natin mangyari. Now, bakit nagkakaroon ng ganon? Now, at a young age, hindi kasi sila aware na kailangan magpa-check up ng regular. And they are not guided because their family, okay, are, kumbaga, they did not want that to happen to her. Okay, there are some instances na ganyan. Swerte ka na lang kung yung family mo is very supportive during your childbirth. But not all okay, have that type of family. Nagkakaroon pa rin tayo ng mga ganyang situations na to the point na tinatago na lang yung pagbubuntis. Pag napanganak, minsan iniiwan na lang kung saan-saan. Iniiwan sa basurahan, sa entrance ng mall. Okay? I read last time na meron yung bata na pinanganak, iniwan na lang sa palengke. Kakapanganak lang. That's sad. And there is a risk na pwedeng mamatay yung bata kasi hindi alam o hindi napapahalagaan ng ina yung buhay ng bata or hindi pa siya ready dun sa bata. There would be increased mortality. Now, in those situations, magkakaroon ng trauma ang bata. Magkakaroon din ang, siyempre, poor upbringing din yung baby. Hindi buo yung pamilya. Okay? Kung meron man, there would be, nagkakaroon sila ng more broken families, more single parents, tataas ang gastusin. Okay? And then, all in all, poor quality of life in a Filipino family kapag hindi na-address yung ganito. And I know the reason why nagkakaroon sila ng push kung bakit gusto nilang ma-address ang increased teenage pregnancy. Pero we need to be more realistic kung ano yung mga pwede natin gawin. No? As a doctor, you need to know when is a child ready to know about this. And as members of the family, when do you introduce this type of topic? No? Kasi like sinabi ko kanina, family will always be the most important body that will help each young member of the family move forward and maiwasan yung ganitong sakit or ganitong sitwasyon. There is usually a lack of family support. Now, because of this lack of family support, wherein hindi na natututukan ng isang family ang ganitong aspect, there would be tendency of curiosity for children, di ba? And bakit nagkakaroon ng lack of family support? It would be due to, ano ba ang mga causes natin? Root of lack of family support, there would be the lack of knowledge on, sexual education from the very beginning. Kahit even the family, within the family within the family. The family should always be the one that would be responsible in introducing these types of topics slowly. Alam nyo naman kung kailan dapat to pinag-uusapan. No? Once they reach their teens, syempre, they will be more curious. And that time, slowly, daughters need to ask their mothers. Okay, sons will ask their fathers, no, about these situations. Now, baka tanungin nyo sa akin, Doc, paano pag single parent? Well, that's the reason why this problem, okay, might also be the reason why it's aggravating more single parents and more broken families. Kasi dahil meron ka nito, okay, it will be hard enough to escape the cycle of single parenthood tapos magkakaroon ng ganitong repeat kung hindi maaalagaan ng husto. And I know single parents na sobrang they've learned from what happened before and they have reared their children, no, to the point na sobrang well-aware sila, well-mannered, and respectful sila with life, that they know na hindi yung mga mistakes that would happen if ever they engage in early activities. Okay? Alam nila. And saludo ako sa mga parents na yun kasi they've overcome educating their children despite having the challenge na mag-isa ni sila. Okay? Despite na yung family nila ay broken. The family itself will be the only solution to break yung cycle kapag ganun yung nangyayari. But if yung family would still continue to foster a dysfunctional attitude, hindi mawawala yan. There would be more problems ahead kung hindi nagkakaroon ng solution dun sa cycle na to. So, it's important to increase or strengthen the awareness of the family, no? The knowledge, if let's say it's a single parent, learn from your mistakes, teach your child, no? Teach your child na these are the mistakes that happened before, but always tell them that well, it happened before. I'm not considering you as a mistake. This is a problem that would be avoided in the next generation of your family. No, don't think of it na it's a problem. He or she is a burden. No, it's a kumbaga, one of the things that happened in the past. But the past would always be the reason that you will learn for the future. Yun for the family. No, for especially those challenged families na para tutukan yung mga anak nila. Okay? This would always be better para kapag, let's say, yung knowledge would be coming from the family in a more gradual way kasi they trust you, it will be better para maiwasan itong sakit na to or karamdaman or itong problema na ito sa society natin. Another is, syempre, poor implementation of laws governing the family. Yung laws, actually meron na tayong mga laws about the family. I think dito naman, it's parang overkill kasi yung nilagay nilang mga provisions doon sa bill na yon. And I think it's better na ma-incorporate lang talaga yung values of a Filipino family and the things that we need to follow, no? Especially when it comes to having your roles and responsibility in building a family itself, no? Alam mo kung magkakaroon ka ng pamilya, alam mo na dapat na ito na dapat yung mga kailangan kong i-bring up. Alam, by the time or your age na, let's say, you're only earning for yourself and now you are looking for a partner, you have to also realize na the next step will be marriage as well as having a child. And in that situation, you have to know your responsibility as a family. Okay? And in the family, syempre, we have the family code. Bago naman kayo kasal, may mga seminars yan about responsible parenthood, ganun. Alamin mo dapat. And alamin mo dapat kung ano yung mga dapat mong sundin, no, sa sitwasyon na gusto nyo nang magbuo ng pamilya. Okay? At hindi basta-basta yung inuuna lang ang pleasure, no? At para maiwasan natin ang unintended pregnancy. Kung hindi pa ready ang family by means of funds, hindi pa ready ang family by means of resources, best wait for the time, no? Best wait for the time na magkaroon na kayo ng prepared plans to bring a new child in our world, kumbaga. Mahirap yung basta-basta na lang. Kung ayaw nyo maipit, plan it. Okay? Plan it ahead. Now, aside from planning it ahead, don't forget your family ties, your culture, and your principles in life. Whether if it's governed by your own religion, okay, we respect that by each family is concerned. Okay? So those laws may either be legal laws from the country or some, let's say, religious laws in your own your culture, ganon. That would be respectful enough, no? Yun yung kailangan natin ma-uphold. Kasi if we are following those laws or those rules, no, we will not be going ahead or going the opposite of paano hindi naman opposite eh. Hindi natin, kumbaga, kung fina-follow natin yung rules, ang mangyayari lang dyan is hindi natin magagawa yung problema to or magkakaroon ng problema na ganito. Okay? Next is, syempre, with the family in full support, no, other things that can be done by the government is, syempre, yung exposure. if you would notice in our country, ang problem talaga dyan is the increased exposure to more suggestive materials. Kung anong suggestive materials ang sinasabi ko, it's more on, syempre, social media. Social media is no longer regulated. Okay? And a slight click of a button, Facebook can even show you some mild suggestive material. Okay? If in a certain search engine or sa search bar, matype mo lang ang isang website that is very much adult-oriented, very accessible ka. Because we don't even ban those type of materials. Yun yung problema dito. Kasi if you are more strict in those senses, in regulating or removing those suggestive materials readily accessible, yun dapat yung kailangan natin tugunan. Kasi kung hindi nyo matanggal yan, mabubuksan yan. Right now, even children can hold the phone. Right now, even, let's say, 6 or 8 years olds can search the internet. Okay? They're no longer, naive. They even have Facebook. Okay? Even kapag tinatago nila. Okay? They can look at it. They can search it. Okay? They can watch it. And let's be realistic. It's already there, no? The only thing that we can do is regulate it. Okay, the internet is a beast. Okay, it's a monster. There will always be a dark side. Kapag nabuksan yan at napanood, okay, that will be, well, a domino effect. The next time, maghahanap niya ng ibang image. The next time, maghahanap niya ng ibang video. And then that next time will be almost every day. And then that next time will just feed their exploration. They will talk about it, with their peers, and later on they will, well, the rest is history, which is already happening ngayon, di ba? So, exposure would always be one of those things na kailangan natin ma-address. Aside from that, yun nga, the exposure of these sites, aside from that, syempre yung mass media. If you would take note of the recent exposure of, let's say, yung mga TV dramas, okay, even Netflix, and even YouTube, syempre, yung mga vloggers, okay, they would show, it's very, very rampant. Makikita nyo, there's some skin, exposure. Meron din yung mga suggestive scenes, and let's be true, nakikita yan, and it will also fuel curiosity, lalo na kung bata nakakapanood. Okay, and sa TV, it's already known na sa mga mga panood or palabas, may mga child-based na drama, tapos later on nagkaroon ng parang crush, ganun. And then even to the point na there was one time may nakita ko na parang childhood na skit, tapos biglang may kiss, may naghahalikan sa pisngi nga lang naman, pero syempre it can be it can be fed to the minds of children na nagkakaroon ng ganito. And then later on, ano pa ba yung ibang makikita nila? Curiosity can fuel a lot of things, Tapos yung other movies and even influence and peers, kapag nakikita nila yan, ikikwento nila yan sa mga kaibigan nila. Even attitudes and behaviors, yung pagmumura sa movies, pagmumura sa TV, okay, natututunan yan ng mga bata, nakukuha nila yan, nasasama nila yan sa vocabulary nila. And then such a point na may times na pag nagagalit na sila, napapamura na din sila sa harap niyo, sa harap ng teacher. Okay? Those materials can influence. We cannot remove that in the equation. We cannot unsee, okay? Kasi nandyan siya. But what I think what we can do is, syempre, regulate that. There are options naman sa mga bata na you can regulate the screen time of children with their phones. Okay? Alam ko, importante ang phone sa mga bata for communication. Pero you could also learn some techniques para ma-regulate nila yung browsing history nila, as well as regulating access to social media. Yun yung importante. Okay? Na dapat ma-push na lang ng mga batas. Okay, or even regulating their access entirely. Kasi bata, exposure to screen time on social media is also, well, not a good, healthy habit, kumbaga. Children are, kumbaga, sa mga bata ng 90s like kami, we grew up running around. Lalaro ng patintero, tumbang preso, holen, di ba? Right now, yung mga bata ngayon, nagsa-cellphone na lang. Nag-ML, nag-video games, ng online games, di ba? Though ako, I'm a fan of online games, pero the problem there is, yun nga, their lifestyle will be at risk. And not just yung lifestyle na like, tataba sila, wala na silang alam na exercise. Their lifestyle as well as yung sexual behavior will also be at risk. Yung problem dyan. Okay? Now, for that bill, going to that bill, it's just one. Yun lang. I think dito lang sila nag-focus eh. Okay, dun sa law. How about others? This one can also be one important thing that you can address. This one can also be one of those things that you can also address. And this, within the family, just leave it to the family and then educate the parents to teach the children within the family. Okay? Later on, kung gusto nyo ilagay yun sa college or what, actually, meron namang science na subject, and they will teach reproductive health as well there, as just either one or two topics. But, let's say, in a stricter sense na you will teach within the parents, and as well as teaching the parents will teach their children, better yun. Kasi the trust will be coming from the parents to teach them the proper ways. Okay? And not mandating laws that will will teach children yung pleasure as early as age 4. Parang hindi pwede. Okay? Strengthen the family support. And then limit exposure of suggestive materials. Yun yung mga maganda sanang i-push natin na alternatives and not items that were mentioned dun sa law na yun. Okay? Nakakakuan lang talaga. Yun lang naman yung naisip ko na pwede natin gawin. Okay? And I do hope magkaroon tayo ng mga ganung plans that could help us move forward and help control. Alam ko din, very alarming ito. Kasi kaya pinakita ko din yung upper part. Itong mga to, they will continue to increase. Itong increased cost of living, increased broken family, increased single-parent family, increased maternal mortality and poor healthcare, dysfunctional family, and an increase in population. Kung hindi na-address ito, daming problema. Okay? So I hope the root, the things in the bottom can be addressed. Okay? Not just isa lang yung i-implement natin. We have to apply it to almost in a lot of aspects. Okay? And the law is just one. Maraming ka pang pwedeng puntahan na avenues. Gawa ka ng law din dito, banning the following or regulating materials like this. Alam ko may NTRCB, pero syempre, will it be enough? Kasi nakikita mo lang dun SPG, pero nakikita pa rin ng bata, di ba? The problem there is, kahit sabihin mong SPG, nabubuksan naman nila yung TV mag-isa. Okay? Yun din. What are the other ways, other alternatives na pwede natin gawin? Okay? So, yun lang naman. Those are just insights in my mind about yung topic on increased adolescent pregnancy or teenage pregnancy and what we can do. Okay, and for me, I'm not, kumbaga, I'm not supportive with the bill na pinakita nila. Okay, and it's very, kumbaga, challenging or tsaka ambitious. Then ipapattern mo sa abroad sa labas, sa mga countries outside, they have more atrocious problems about sexual education, to the point na may abuse, mas malala pa doon. Kaya ganyan yung mga recommendations abroad. Okay, pero that does not necessarily mean na susundin din natin yung mga yon. Those are just recommendations. Okay, guidelines. We can make our own. Okay, we can make our own project or program. Kapag mas maganda pa nga yung program natin, we can even suggest that internationally para makatulong din outside. Okay, it's a step, no, in the right direction na alamin mo yung kumbaga what is right for the country, just by looking at it outside and find other programs that can help. Okay, hindi yung just copying programs outside. Okay, mas magandang innovative and unique ang approach natin kasi it will identify us as Filipinos that will address yung problem na ito. Hindi yung we copied it from the outside. Okay, they are just there to us, let's say, recommendation. Sabi ko nga. Okay, hanggang doon lang ang video natin. Sana maganda yung audio ko. And sana may mga natutunan din kayo. If you have questions about the topic, you could message or you could drop a comment. Okay, you could message me sa Facebook or you could also email me, no. I'll try to answer kung meron man, and then hopefully may makita tayong improvement in the next few days. Okay, so hanggang dun lang ang video ko, and hopefully I made it clear na yeah, I'm not with this anti-teen pregnancy bill, specifically dun sa may mga provisions on teaching stuff like that among children. Okay, final takeaway, find other root causes that can help control that problem. Okay, so again, this has been Doc Chris signing out. Bye-bye guys. Ciao.
Sa rounds ng ospital, hustle di magtigil. Laging inaalala ang bawat detalye pilit. Pasyente pamilya, sa kanya'y mahalaga. Kaya bawat check-up, laging may pag-asa. Si Doc Chris, the Scrubby and the